Hello, my name is Abby, and today I'm going to talk to you about social identity theory, bullying, and body image of middle-aged children. Middle-aged childhood takes place from the ages of 6 to 12 years, but I will mainly be focusing on children in their later middle childhood. This is from ages 9 to 12. As a parent, it is very important for you to know what's going on in your child's life and some of the issues that they may be dealing with as they grow. Being informed is one of the best ways you can keep your child safe, happy, and healthy. The social identity theory states that identity develops not only from an individual's sense of belonging to a particular group, but also from an affective component in which one's self-esteem is based on positive feelings about one's group, stated by Umana Taylor. Children who have trouble fitting into peer groups or have trouble identifying with a group often fall victims to bullying. For example, think of a child who's biracial. Let's say this child has a white mother and an African American father. The child may have a hard time associating with African American children because he is not seen as being fully African American. The child may also have issues fitting in with white children because he is not seen as being fully white. Situations like these often lead to children being bullied. Bullying is defined as long-standing acts of physical, verbal, or relational aggression that are directed at a particular peer, as stated by Rubin, Borowski, and Parker. Bullying includes things like taunting, teasing, name-calling, and physical harm. One of the biggest issues children in middle childhood face is bullying. Aggression is the driving force behind this. According to middle childhood developers, there are 3 types of aggression. Physical aggression, which is using physical violence, such as punching and kicking. Verbal aggression, which is using words to hurt someone psychologically. So, for example, a child calling another child fat or ugly. And relational aggression, which is using exclusion to ostracize someone socially, as stated by Crick, 1996. Boys and girls use aggression differently. While boys tend to use more physical aggression when bullying, and girls tend to use more verbal aggression. It is important that we understand the concept of aggression so we have a better understanding of the different types of bullying. While there are many different types of bullying, I will focus on 2. These are cyberbullying and verbal bullying. Cyberbullying is becoming increasingly popular. With various social media sites and easy access to them, it's clear to see why this is becoming such an issue. Children nowadays have access to technology and social media from a very young age. Think about it. Even 2-year-olds now know how to work an iPad. Cyberbullying is different from other forms of bullying because it isn't done face-to-face. The bully will send mean emails or texts to the victim. The U.S. government anti-bullying website says cyberbullying can happen 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, and reach a kid even when he or she is alone. It can happen any time of the day or night. Cyberbullying messages and images can be posted anonymously and distributed quickly to a wide variety of audiences. It can be difficult and sometimes impossible to trace a source. Deleting inappropriate or harassing messages, texts, and pictures is extremely difficult after they have been posted or sent. I encourage parents to talk to their children about cyberbullying and being safe online. It is important for parents to monitor what their children are doing online. You can check what websites they go on, what they post, and who they are talking to. Make sure that your children aren't going on harmful sites where they can become a victim of bullying or even have the opportunity to bully another child. Unlike cyberbullying, verbal bullying is often face-to-face. In verbal bullying cases, the bully will call the victim names or tease them. Often victims of verbal bullying are made fun of because of the way they look or because they are different. Sadly, this is an all too common occurrence. I think we can all think back to a time where we have witnessed someone being teased for the way they look or just for being different. Children who are overweight and obese are frequently targets of bullies. In an article by the Journal of Pediatrics and Child Health, it states, countries around the world have identified bullying as a leading health concern for children and adolescents. 1/3 of all children reported being victimized by peers at some point during their schooling. For middle-aged children, image is everything. Children are judged by the way they act, by what they wear, and mostly by the way they look. Body image is what your child thinks of him or herself. During middle childhood, body image is very important. Adolescence is a critical time for developing social relationships which can impact upon psychological health and well-being. It is possible that difficulties with peer relationships, such as bullying, influence the development of negative eating and weight-related conditions and behaviors, in an article from Fox and Fair. It can be hard for children at this age to have a positive body image. This is because a lot of physical changes are taking place. For example, towards the end of middle childhood, girls often begin experiencing puberty. During puberty, girls gain weight and get taller. This may make them feel uncomfortable. There is also pressure from peers and the media to look a certain way. With all these changes and these pressures, it may be hard for children to maintain a positive body image. Research illustrates that body and weight dissatisfaction occurs as early as in 3rd grade. It is greater in European American than African American children, greater in females than males, and those with heterosexual orientation, and it increases over time, peaking around 8th or 9th grade, as reported by Thompson, Furrow, and Sargent. This quote is saying, children are dissatisfied with their bodies starting at a very young age, and this feeling often intensifies as the child gets older. Because body image is so important and there is so much pressure on children to have a good body and look a certain way, some middle-aged children can develop unhealthy eating habits, and these unhealthy habits can lead to eating disorders. According to the American Psychiatric Association, the mean age of onset for anorexia is 17, with peaks at 14 and 18. However, children younger and younger are getting diagnosed with eating disorders. A study conducted by the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality showed that hospitalizations for eating disorders in children under the age of 12 increased by 119% between 1999 and 2006. Here is a video clip that will give you a little more insight on children and eating disorders.
At 5:30, disturbing new numbers out this week are surprising even mental health professionals.
The National Eating Disorders Association released the statistics yesterday showing kids as young as 1st grade want to be thinner. Our TV6 reporter Tanya Spencer is live in our newsroom with the numbers and advice for parents from an expert. Tanya?
Well, Todd and Erica, it is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. As parents, we need to watch what we're saying to our kids, and we need to watch what our kids are looking at.
To be honest, I was surprised. So obviously, even mental health professionals need to be made aware that this is a trend not in the right direction.
Kimball Richardson is a licensed mental health counselor with St. Vincent Health. He's starting to treat kids with eating disorders at younger and younger ages.
8, maybe. Sometimes 6, 7, 8, but about 8.
Still, new numbers released by the National Eating Disorders Association are shocking to even him. They show 42% of 1st through 3rd grade girls want to be thinner. 81% of 10-year-olds are afraid of being fat. And hospitalizations for eating disorders are up 119% in children under 12 in the past decade.
That's the most disturbing statistic to me. Because you have to get in a pretty bad way to be hospitalized for that issue.
Richardson says kids being bombarded with images of perfection is part of the problem.
They probably wouldn't be able to recite an overt message, I need to be thin. But it's insidious and it's covert in many ways. They see the images, as kids do, copy. They're idle. And if parent has an issue with their own self-esteem, with their own body image, that's tough to hide. And kids are smart, and they pick up on that. And again, it's an unspoken, sometimes unspoken message.
Limiting food intake and trying to lose weight is especially concerning for that age group since their bodies and brains are still developing. Also, starting these habits so young make their eating disorder harder to treat. So parents need to help their kids understand what a healthy body image looks like. Being fit, but not too thin. Also, how to look at your whole health picture, your mental health, as well as your physical health. Reporting live in the newsroom, Tanya Spencer, RTV6.
As you saw from this video, even mental health counselors are seeing more parents bringing their young children in for counseling because of an eating disorder. And there is an increase of parents having to hospitalize their children because their eating disorder has gotten so bad. With statistics like this, it is very important that parents of children in middle childhood know that your child may be starting to have these negative feelings about themselves. It is also important to know about eating disorders. Although there are a number of eating disorders, I will be focusing on two of the most common types, which are anorexia nervosa and bulimia. The Mayo Clinic defines anorexia as an eating disorder that causes people to obsess about their weight and the food they ate. People with anorexia nervosa attempt to maintain a weight that is far below normal for their age and height. To prevent weight gain or to continue losing weight, people with anorexia nervosa may starve themselves or exercise excessively. Some of the warning signs of anorexia are the child skipping meals and making excuses to not be able to eat, a significant change in weight, and being overly concerned about the way they look, and often talking about themselves in negative ways, such as saying, "I'm ugly, I'm fat, and I need to lose weight." As with any eating disorder, there are serious health problems that come along with a person suffering from anorexia. The longer the disease goes unnoticed, the worse it gets. The Mayo Clinic lists these side effects of anorexia: extreme weight loss, abnormal blood counts, fatigue, dizziness, thinning hair, irregular heart rhythms, low blood pressure, and osteoporosis. These are just some of the many health effects of anorexia. Bulimia is slightly different from anorexia. People who suffer from bulimia don't avoid eating. They eat regular meals and sometimes even overeat. This overeating is called binge eating. After eating, in order to control their weight, the person will make themselves vomit or take laxatives. This is called purging. Like anorexia, there are numerous mental and physical health problems associated with bulimia. Bulimia may be hard to recognize because the child will eat meals. One sign that a child has bulimia is going to the bathroom after eating. Another sign is having scars on their knuckles caused by self-induced vomiting. Severe anorexia and bulimia can lead to things like kidney failure, intestinal issues, and even death. If you think you are seeing signs of having an eating disorder in your child, talk to their doctor. You can get help from a mental health counselor or a treatment center. Now that you know about eating disorders in middle childhood, I would like to talk about ways that you can help your child build a positive self-image. As a parent, you can do simple things every day to improve your child's self-image. You can simply tell them that they look pretty, they're doing great in school. Talk to them about the negative effects of media and that not everyone has to look a certain way. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to look different. You can teach them about living a healthy lifestyle and the importance of healthy foods and exercising. You can inform them of things like there is a problem with over-exercising. Yes, exercising is good, but when you overdo it, it can harm your body. One of the best things you can do is having a good body image yourself. When you are confident, your child will pick up on that. So if you are like, don't go on crash diets in front of your child, that will harm them. By being informed of the things I have talked about today and communicating with your child daily, you can help them with some issues they may be facing in their middle childhood years.